Hey y'all, I just planted some okra here in my side garden, and it really got me thinking about the synthesis that I've been trying to wrap my head around between Landrace gardening by Joseph Lofthouse and Square Foot gardening by Mel Bartholomew and the Square Foot Gardening Foundation. I really like the principles of the landrace gardening and the efficiency of the square foot gardening. And you can see here I've got okra, big okra that I planted a little bit earlier, another okra in front there, okra, cranberry hibiscus, which is a relative of okra, and then even back there there's some smaller ones there, kind of going sideways. I'm an engineer. I should appreciate the efficiency of square foot gardening and that unit, that 1 square foot unit, and all of the tables telling you how many of each crop to plant per each. These are things that do go really well, but a lot of the principles that are espoused are in almost direct opposition to landrace gardening and developing locally adapted crops. So I've been struggling with this one a little bit, and I've decided that I'm going to try and piece together a synthesis. This will be a few videos. This first one, though, I'm going to talk about the grid itself and how the grid is as a guideline, not as gospel. But also, I'm going to show you a little bit of this garden. Starting over here, Cajun hibiscus, purple coneflower. Here's a Rudbeckia. It was labeled Black-Eyed Susan, but it's a different Goldstrom Rudbeckia Olida. Got a swamp rose mallow, a big dinner plate, another purple coneflower, some volunteer tropical milkweed. I'm going to cut it down as soon as I see any butterflies pupate. I don't want to transmit OE, but it volunteered. It's happy. I got some penstemons, some 4 o'clocks, lots of mint. This is the Kentucky kernel over here. Looks like I might have planted another mint back there. I'm not sure what that is. Another one of the swamp rose mallow hibiscus. I got sweet potatoes here that I'm trying to use to break up, densify. See if that works. Of course, you have the okra over here. Trying to get some sunflowers going. We'll see how that goes. Back there's longevity spinach. Perpetual spinach here. Love this stuff. This stuff's great. It's handling the heat like a champ. The slugs did like it. You can see that there's quite a bit of slug damage in some of these older leaves, but some of the newer ones have, particularly these small ones here, have come by without too much damage. Rosebush, this thing always grows way out of control. It only flowers a few flowers. I need to cut it back already, even though it's just the beginning of June. Fox feather, more mint. This is a mixture of mint julep mint and mojito. Got another Cajun hibiscus that kind of fell over, but it seems happy. And so the grid is a guideline, not as gospel. That 1 square foot unit is powerful. So I'm trying to use that, but you don't always have a perfectly rectangular bed. This happens to be a rectangular bed. But sometimes you want a different form. Nature gives you a different form. Your aesthetics demanded different form. And oh yeah, by the way, not trash. Those are the containers I put beer in to trap the slugs. I even have a beer bottle laid on the side there. So using a concept from engineering, the curvilinear grid is a really good way to bridge the gap between square foot gardening and non-rectangular beds. I know this doesn't strictly have anything to do with landrace gardening, because in landrace gardening you should be using your land as is to try and get your plants to adapt to it. But sometimes we also need to adjust our landscape to adapt to us. And that's where we lay out some garden beds and whatnot. But we can still divide these up into grids, even if they're not perfectly rectilinear. And so I'm just going to start by talking about the curvilinear grid. Maybe I'll do a video where I draw one out. And also to note, yes, the okra are not a perfect 1 square foot grid. It's a 10-inch grid because okra can go a little bit denser, but not too much denser than the 1 per square foot. So I violate Mel Bartholomew there, and I'm gonna upset a few of you all. This is also not Mel's Mix. This is just the native garden soil. These are all things I'm gonna address, but I did want to begin this conversation talking about this here. So if this is something you're interested in, if you enjoy these videos, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell down there for notifications. That lets the algorithms know that you like stuff like this. Satellites link up in outer space, AWS servers, Word of Life, and you get recommendations for things like this. So look forward to seeing you on the next one. Do that internet video thing. Thank you. Bye.